show kisses. I pray to God grant your wishes. Blessings he will bestow. Can we try for one more? Conversations turn to deep depression when I'm confessing.
Welcome to DONTalks. Today we got a special guest, Mxrc Clxrk.
What's up?
Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt, man. We're here to talk about your new album, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You said what?
It's weird, man.
It's weird?
I'm not used to, I don't know. First of many. Yeah.
First of many, yeah. Man. The album's, very, how you want to say, like...
Sad.
Yeah, man. It's
sad and emotional.
Yeah, very soft. Very.
It could be a little bit.
It's soft, man. It seems like you've been going through a lot.
Yeah, I have.
So
I'm an emotional person. We're human beings, man.
Man, I get it, man. But you seem like you need a helping hand out here, man. So let me ask you this: is this like one girl in particular?
Oh, definitely not. No.
So multiple.
This is like across the span of probably like my senior year in high school.
Okay.
To like yesterday.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, it's just like it's a multitude of relationships that I've kind of like been in throughout the years. Really starting in high school from my first to like going from her into like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meeting multiple women and experiencing parts of them. And not just sexually, but more or less, internally, emotionally, spiritually as well.
But it also seems like you're kind of finding yourself, also, and getting in touch with who you are and how you feel, and dare I say, like how you want to be loved and approached in this thing too, man.
Yeah, and it really stems from, all right, so it started with the relationship with my mother, and not really having that. As a young boy growing up, you had this idea that, yeah, this is my mom. She's supposed to be there to nurture me and care for me and everything like that. So particularly, I didn't have that.
Right.
So you then tend to look forward in other things in life. So for me, as I got older, my grandmother raised me, so she showed me love, but she showed me love in a very hard way. So she wasn't one of those grandmas like, oh, come here, baby.
Right.
You want a piece of pie or something?
She got to get you ready, kind of getting you ready for the world.
10 years old, I'm like ironing, cooking, like I'm on it. You feel me?
Right.
So definitely from a young standpoint, I already kind of had this. And she taught me as a kid, she's like, you don't ask a woman for nothing. If you as a man, you got to go out there and go get it and do it on your own. So that affected me in terms of like trying to be emotional in relationships.
Right.
So how do you go from the point of this woman raising you to be your own person, to be
no vulnerabilities?
Not being vulnerable in any sense. So to now, I have to be vulnerable in a relationship. I have to be able to express myself to this woman and be like, hey, I feel X, Y, and Z, and having and being okay with her responding in a positive way.
Right.
And so instead of being like, well, fuck you then, like whatever, bye. But I went through a phase where I was just numb to everything. So the women in my life at that time were just getting the worst parts of me.
So it was a mix of you getting some bad women, but also the women who were good were getting the bad parts of you, right?
Yeah, we're getting the bad parts of me as well. And definitely in college, man. Definitely in college, you tend to, encounter there are a lot of beautiful women, man. And so for me, I was coming to this point in my life where, okay, freshman year, kind of in college, where I was going through this 8 to 10 month depression over this girl that used to live in South Carolina, and that never leading to anything. So I was like, all right, fuck her, bump her, right? The next year, like the summer before I come aboard, I was like, yo, man, we finna go back to school. We finna run through them, boom, 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 boom.
Right. The typical.
And that did not happen. As soon as I got back, I got into a relationship that lasted almost 2.5 years, which is probably still the longest relationship, which is the longest relationship I've been in currently. So But after getting out of that, I'm just like, nah, I definitely want to. I'm fighting with her all the time, trying to get her to open up to me. And I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Do the same thing people used to do to you.
Right. And so I'm trying to, I'm saying, hey, you know what I'm saying? She's used to her father doing everything, and I'm just trying, hey, you know, I love you too. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you as well, you know? And so getting out of that and feeling emotionally drained was just a lot for me at the time. So coming right off of it was me meeting a bunch of women during this particular time, and, oh, you like me? Oh, cool. And then, or just having female friends, and these female friends then leading to we just had sex, or and then more of these female friends then led to like having these moments.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because it seems like it's like you said, it's a years from the kind of start of these emotions to now. So how do you stay in that headspace to make a whole album, you know, kind of going through, you know, it you know, these phases, because it kind of starts, you know, with, you know, like kind of how you were telling the story, and then you get to, you know, like Friends with Benefits kind of right at that point, and you know, you got a few songs where it's just like, all right, hey, listen, there's no attachments here, we should be just doing this. And then kind of getting out of that, saying like, nah, if we're gonna do it, we need to do something with it. Like, how do you stay in that headspace, because you're not there anymore, right? Like,
Right. No.
Yeah. So like, how do you get back there?
Happy and in love, but
happy and in love.
Love you, baby. But no, just so I dropped my first mixtape in 2015, which was called Menace to Society, which was just like this black empower. I was watching Menace to Society movie like every day, like
right there,
all the time. And so that kind of just leaded me just having these conversations about black people and black men, particularly in America. And then after that, I had this idea for a title, and it was like Good Vibe, Broken Heart. I was like, oh damn, that sounds good. So the first song I made for it was Gone, and Gone is a song, but each verse. The first verse is about one girl, and the second verse is about, so the one is one song, but about two different women. So basically, it really started after I graduated from college, and really having a moment to kind of like sit there and evaluate my life. Because once you graduate and get out there in the real world, now it's just like, you know what I'm saying, things don't come as frequent as they used to when you're in, you know,
everything's there.
Right. So now I'm like, okay, having a moment to reflect. Now I'm thinking like, okay, I'm getting older. Now the good guy thing to do is to, you know, find a woman to spend the rest of your life with and be married. But for me, I wasn't finding that at the time. So there were still good quality women that I would come into contact with, but emotionally I was just in a space to where I still, you know, I wasn't really looking to go to that next level with a female. So it'll just lead to, oh, you want to come through?
Right.
All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, holla at you.
Right.
Holla at you. And so now it's just like, okay, let's use these. And I had to take it from, okay, it's nothing wrong with them, because I can't point the finger at these females all the time and be like, okay, something's wrong with them. I had to internally look at myself and be like, okay, what is not being answered? What questions do you have about yourself or within yourself that aren't being answered, because you're only finding momentary times with these women and only spending these moments with these women, but it's not leading to anything. So what is going on internally that's not taking you to that next step in terms of commitment?
So you had to get some personal development,
try
to figure out what you can do to
prayer, man, and just writing. And writing for me has just always been therapeutic. So Secret Delight, you know, came about, and the project was made over about 3 years. So
that's how you kind of stayed in that space.
Yeah. So
you were still there with some of it.
So once I started the project, I've been in that space for about 3 years, and so currently I'm like finally finding my way out of that space. But over the course of those 3 years, so Secret Delight started with relationship that started like maybe a year ago. And Gone was about two girls that I met probably 4 years ago. Right. So you see the difference in terms of times and also space, but they're also, so it's kind of like the project is a combination of like myself in years, so it's also growth as well taking place.
Right, exactly. So you can tell it coming down the line. Like I said, you kind of going through, like really going through at the beginning. You get your.
So I was very meticulous in terms of like, okay, what stories do I want to follow each other, which kind of shows my growth in terms of myself, but also me realizing kind of like how fucked up I can't curse.
Yeah. Okay. This is the third one, so it's like we're here now.
How kind of like emotionally fucked up I was at those different times, and you do come to a space where like, all right, fuck, I finally am growing. I see growth within myself because I'm acknowledging, okay, yeah, I was fucked up at that moment, but now I can't continue in the same light, or if I do, I'm going to keep getting the same results.
Same results, right? Do you have like any inspiration of how you want it to sound and how you want it to, like, any other artists that you like, like this is the kind of sound, or like just how it's put together?
Yeah, I was initially, when I first started, I wanted to have like a jazzy, kind of a jazzy type feel to it. I wanted to sound like, and so like how I think of music in terms of colors. So I wanted to sound, or I'll say, hey, I want Gone to sound like the color pink, or I want Secret Delight to sound like yellow. So it's when you associate colors with certain things, so you can think of yellow like yellow dandelions or something.
You can kind of
like
get
that.
feelings.
Right, a yellow sunflower or something like that. Now, what would a yellow sunflower sound like in music? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, I kind of learned that from, I was watching this interview one time, and Kendrick Lamar was talking about when he talks to his producer, and he talks to him in colors, and I was like...
He tells the producer he want to hear a color?
Yeah.
Let me hear red.
Exactly, it was something like that. I was just like... And as I like sat back and then just was like listening to like other beats and stuff like that from different producers, it was just like, okay, I can definitely see what he means. So I kind of like took that approach in terms of figuring out sonically the sound and the direction. But I've been through, I wanted to sound jazzy, I wanted to sound jazzy trap, or I wanted to sound, heavy with heavy like in synthesizers and stuff like that. But
it is smooth.
Yeah.
Like you kept the whole thing smooth. It was weird because usually, like, now we get a thing where albums don't stay the same pace throughout. So we get a change in something. Yeah. But this wasn't like that. It was like you got the same, like, it was smooth throughout from top to bottom. So like it's that one you can play like more of it's a mood, right? Yeah. And it's a mood throughout. So it's not like, all right, I got to pick these songs out to fit this mood. It's like this whole project fits that mood.
What's his name? Spiff Ellis.
Shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to Spiff Ellis. He's an artist from New Jersey. Okay. He actually went to school with my cousins, but he's big on Instagram. Okay. At King Spiff Ellis, I think, something like that. But his work is out there.
So did you like reach out to him saying, I want this in particular, or did you like, hey, I'm looking for something, and you seen that?
So how it happened was I more or less explained to him the concept of the project, and what he did was create a character around the narrative. Okay. Around the narrative of my project. So, I wanted her to. Initially, it was she was gonna. So initially, I had this idea of one girl. She's in the middle, and she's walking out of one door, and it says she's leaving out of one door, and the door's on fire. And then she's walking into the north. Her clothes are torn. She's kind of like dragging a heart on the ground in blood, and then she's entering a new one that says "Welcome." And that's initially my idea of the project. So, in terms of the cover art, but then I was like, well, I wanted her to have like natural hair. I wanted her to be not to seem like super old, but just young and kind of innocent. but still seem torn and withered in a
Been
sense.
through some stuff.
Right. So man, that was pretty much it. And he came up with a dope design. And so he just came up with the design.
Mm-hmm.
I added the text. I added kind of like the little sun, the little playful little sun.
Right. Like the good vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of not to. I didn't want to make it seem so drawn, moody, gloomy, right? In terms of the actual work, but it's more or less. So the color in the rear, okay, it's vibrant. Then the sun is kind of like this cheesy little sun. It's kind of like looking over her. That and where she's in a space to where she's not feeling anything. She's holding on to these withered sunflowers or whatever. So yeah.
Okay. Well, so with that, what kind of music is that? The kind of music you like to listen to? Like these moody and
it depends.
Feeling kind of.
It depends.
Like anybody else, you got to move.
Yeah, like
But is this like your mood most of the time?
Oh no, it's not. It's not all the time, man. Like for me, I'm very much a chill person, so that's probably why most of the music is like real chill.
Well, so yeah, that it works then. I don't mean too much to say of like the topic line, but more so of just the vibe. Like that's just the kind of vibe that music you like to.
I listen to artists like Smino. Favorite artist probably right now is Dom Kennedy.
Okay.
J-Rock, the whole TDE campus is like crazy dope.
Sick, yeah.
Mick Jenkins. Probably I listen to a lot of like Chicago artists. Cali. I listen to a lot of Cali artists, like for real.
Okay.
Vince Staples, Nip,
this is dope.
Ty, YG. So I'm.
So you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
you got a little bit of everything.
And then, so I'm from Miami, so I listen to a lot of like Florida, like older Florida like influence. So like XXXTentacion, just rest in peace. He just passed away. And I was really into what he was doing, man. Especially outside of just the controversial and music stuff, but just him as you can tell that he was getting to a space where he was getting in a better space, and it's kind of sad to see that that's the city, man. And growing up there, it's just like you kind of. So for me, I moved my senior high school, so I kind of escaped all that, but it still affects me. Like when you see somebody from the crib, it's just like, dang, you know what I'm saying?
So I was also informed that you're gonna give us a little freestyle.
Oh my god!
Yeah. You got something. You got something for us? Give me a little taste of something, man.
I said the hip hop, the hip. Nah, man, it's so weird.
I put you
I
in the spot.
I can spit something from the projects. I guess for people who haven't heard anything.
Yeah, man.
Communication is weak, and so are we. We're not talking that often. I'm trying to author you off, but we only bother for sex. You miles away in the office. You wrong text much often than usually I ignore. But this time I replied a compliment from some guy. I don't know his name. I wonder if you replied. He said, you was a goddess. How you believe in this conscience? When you choose the mission, it was really hard to forget you. I second summer with love. First time that I seen you. Yes, I wanted to fuck. That second summer of love. Moment you, yes, I was. And this I wanted for sure. And you wasn't so sure, but you said you were sure. We still dealing with exes. Old hoes I was texting. Phone full of them bitches. I beg you be my missus, but only 3 months we lasted. Damn, what were we missing? A year and a half into mission. Did we miss it? Let me know.
Yeah, man. That's gone from
that's gone.
Vibes and Broken Hearts, man.
That's about my this girl when I graduated. Yeah.
That's the first song you wrote, right?
She just had a baby, man. Shout out to you. I don't know if I say your name though, but shout out to you. Most of these girls.
Shout out to Inspiration.
Right. Thank you. Don't sue me though. But I'm working on a single that'll probably be out this month.
Okay.
Sometime working on it. So yeah, and probably another project within the next sometime this year. So
probably
the fall. So.
And where can they contact you? Where can they reach you?
My Instagram is at Mxrc Clxrk. It's weird. It's Mark Clark. I just removed the A's and replaced the A's with X's. Why?
I'm about to say let's get into that real quick.
Somebody asked me the other day. It's like, yo, why you do that? So initially when I was first started, when I had this like epiphany that this is what I wanted to do like as a career. Like I told you, I started with my first project, Minister Society, and I was just in this kind of pro-black, and not saying I'm not, but just this super militant,
So
pro-black, fuck America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You just threw the X's in.
Yeah, I was like, the A's in my name represent America.
Yeah, you had to get those out. All right, Malcolm, I feel you.
I was like, the A's represent America. So I was like,
so you just
fuck that.
Took them out, and you just kept it.
Cause somebody told me like Malcolm X had my shades and stuff.
You had it all set.
Yeah. So.
All right, and you can follow us, Content Media, on all the social media sites, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
What else?
That's where you can get Content Media, see DONTalks, Out of Order, QTNA, all these good things.
QTNA, shout out to y'all though.
Hey man, that's a pretty good series right there.
Yeah.
Mark, man, I definitely appreciate you coming through, talking about your album with us, man. It's definitely been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing. And y'all go check it out, man. Good Vibes, Broken Hearts, iTunes, Spotify, Tidal,
we out here.
SoundCloud, all that, man. Just go check out the projects. Really dope, really dope. All right, so I appreciate y'all. See y'all later.
Peace.